Hi guys, Jess with Playful Wreaths. We are going to work on a big, look how pretty this is, teal flocked bunny wreath today. I'm not sure exactly what embellishments I want to add in. The mesh we're going to be using is this one, the orange with the teal and the plaid. This teal is the exact same color as that. I attached some pipe cleaners. I made a hole in the head and down here with a pair of scissors, and then I put some super glue in there, and then I folded a pipe cleaner in half and inserted it that way, and then did Gorilla Glue hot glue around the edges. This one is from Hobby Lobby. It was from last year. It says it's 16 inches. It originally was $10.99, but this is a 16-inch bunny. And I don't know what embellishments we're going to be using for sure. I did pull some of these eggs that are from Hobby Lobby. I did pull these bunnies, which I'm not sure where they're from. Hobby Lobby. These are little tinsel bunnies, and these are in the same colors that we're going to be using, so that might work. I have some blue tulips, and I also have this aqua leaf stuff, and some purple, because our main colors today are going to be teal and purple. So I pulled out all the colors, or all the items that are like in those colors. So I don't know, I was just kind of thinking, I liked the teal that was in here and it matched that teal, and then I'm like, what color goes good with teal? Purple. So we have these two teal 1.5 inch wide ribbons. We have this purple ribbon that has carrots on it, and we have this purple plaid ribbon that has carrots on it, but also bunny butts. So these are the ribbons that we're going to be using on our wreath. This is the focal point. It's a 16-inch flocked bunny from Hobby Lobby, and this is the mesh we're going to be using. So that's that. So say hey when you hop on. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll just lay this down. I'll lay him right on there. I feel like with flocked items, you have to be a little bit careful that it doesn't like rub too much, because the flocking doesn't come off too easily, but it will come off. So be aware of that. But let's start wiring up our frame. This is a 14-inch frame. It's a raised frame, so it's a little bit different than what we normally use. I'm not even sure where I got this from. I just had it in my area, so I don't know. I'm not sure, but it is 14 inches. And I don't know, I think we're ready to go. So it still has the same 6 sections like our normal ones do. I have my pipe cleaners and I shortened them a little bit because we're just going to do the wire or the mesh and the ribbon. So we're going to start putting these on. I did purple and white because it matches our color scheme today. But yeah, I've never made a wreath before with these big bunnies. So we'll see how it turns out. It'll be a new process for all of us. But I think the colors are going to be really good. The teal with the purple. It's one of my favorite color combinations. And I can tell that to be true because I've been using it a lot. Hey Sheila. Sheila, look how cute this bunny is. We're going to be using this guy, which I've never done before. He's 16 inches. And then we're going to be doing purples and teals today. Those are our colors that we're kind of trying to stick with. Purples and teals, and then the mesh is orange with the aqua or teal stripe. So, and the mesh is from Hobby Lobby. Or no. The bunny is from Hobby Lobby. The mesh is from Craft Outlet. But yeah. How's it in Alabama today? It's rainy and cloudy here today. Yesterday we had some sun, which was nice, but today is supposed to rain all day. Which, I mean, it's okay. It has to happen eventually. But yeah, I was excited. I had that other big bunny butt wreath that sold, so I wanted to make another big wreath to have available. I always have more ideas than I ever have time to make, but I've been trying to make at least one wreath a day, so getting those ideas out of my mind and into my shop. Aw, good morning. Hey, Colleen. Michigan neighbor. Love it. I know. I don't like the rain. You like the rain, Colleen? I mean, I guess it's good if you it is good to be inside in the rain, you know, cozied in, but I don't feel as motivated on rainy days, that's for sure. But I am excited to get this. I got all the stuff prepped, so it should hopefully go pretty quickly. I got lots of ideas. We'll have to see what works out. I know some people make these wreaths with the bunny in the middle and then like the bow underneath his feet. So like they would put the bunny in the middle and then they put the bow here. And then some people make them with the bunny over the side and the bow next to it. So when we get to that step, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we feel. But he is 16 inches. He's a big one. Might be the biggest size. But I've seen them before at Hobby Lobby. I know the at-home store sells them. I know in the at-home store, they do seem to go fast. Last year anyways, they did. Because they had ones last year that were really cute and they had like one ear down, which I thought was adorable. It just has a little bit more characteristic, you know. But this one has both ears up and he even has a little bow on, which I think we're gonna probably take that bow off. We'll see. We'll see. I've seen them, some people make them and they'll take the bow off and they'll put like a bow that matches their design, you know, so like the ribbon and their design. That sounds like a good idea. But yeah, we've never made one like this before. I'm down on one pipe cleaner I need. I'm one pipe cleaner short, either fell or I miscounted. Let me try to find one that's the same type. Let's see. Fuzzy one. Yeah, say hey when you hop on. We're just wiring up our frame. As much as I tried to plan ahead, I was one pipe cleaner short. So let me just add that on real quick. 18 ties, like always. 6 around the top, and 12 around the bottom. Yeah, I bought this bunny last year, and I just didn't get around to it. So this is the time. Good morning, Carrie. Uh-oh, I missed one. I missed a comment. Let's see. Oh, Colleen. Yes. Not a big fan of the rain, but happy we're not seeing the snow. Yes. Oh, good morning, Kathy. First time. Hey. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be making a really pretty wreath today with this huge 16-inch flocked bunny. It's adorable. We're probably going to take his bow off. But this is how I'm going to attach him. I just poked a hole down here and up here, put some super glue in there, and then put Gorilla Glue hot glue. These are the ribbons we're going to be using. We're going to be doing purples and like aqua teals today. I think those colors always look really good together. And here's our mesh. All right, so this mesh is from Craft Outlet. It's a nice thick mesh. It is cut to 24 inches. But the thing is that, and this happened to me 2 rolls in a row, so I don't know if it's obviously a manufacturing error, but there is not 10 yards on there. It was short about 2 feet, which makes it so that I didn't have enough. So there's gonna be one piece underneath the bow that is gonna be plain orange and white plaid. It's gonna be this, which I mean, you're not gonna be able to tell that much. Good morning, Tasha, you know. But we'll have to use this underneath the bow or something because we were 1 piece short. And I was like, oh, come on. And I was like trying to, you know, double measure to make sure that I didn't like, you know, miscount or mismeasure or whatever. And they're all right on. So 2 rolls in a row were just a little off. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You just have to figure it out. So as I said, this mesh is nice and full, and we're doing it at 24 inches. We're making sure it's not overlapping because we do want it to be full and fluffy. So we're not really curling it a whole bunch like we would with a 30-inch. Good morning, Michelle. Aw, hey, first time. 18 ties. And if you need to see how I did that, as soon as this live is done, you'll be able to rewind it and be able to check that out. But this is a 14-inch frame, and I always put 18 ties. I'll do 12 around the outside and 6 around the in. And I usually do them like right at the weld marks. So yeah, it looks like this from the back. So I'll do 2 on the welds and then 1 in between on the outside. Good morning, Laura. How are you? I tried to post on my page about an hour ago saying that I was going to go live at this time, hoping that it gave you guys a little bit of time to plan. I know I don't have any type of like texting service or anything fancy like that, but, and I don't go on the same time every day, you know, but, you know, but I still like it when you guys keep me company, so I appreciate that. Okay, so we're making sure that it's not overlapping like with those skinny wreaths that we were making. We're making sure they're kind of butting up against each other. You cut 24 inches, 18 times. No, I did not. It's about 1.5 rolls. Because you can get 18 cuts at 20 inches, but I did them 24 inches. Good late morning, Anne. Yes. Yes, I want it to be big and full and fluffy because the bunny is so big. And I didn't want to use a pine tie wreath because I didn't want to risk any of the pine showing through in a spring design. I know some people do it. You know, they use the pine ties all year round. But I just feel like, I don't know. I made a Valentine's Day wreath on one, and even though I know Valentine's Day is a little cold, I felt like you could see the pine base still, and I didn't like that. So this mesh is a higher quality mesh. So cutting it at 24 inches will give us that full look. It'd be just fine. I was looking up, because I bought this mesh last year, and I was looking up, because, you know, I should do better at knowing exactly how much my wreaths cost to make, but sometimes not. And I was like, oh, how much does this mesh cost? $10.75 a roll. It's kind of pricey, but it's cute. Right, okay, I thought more than one. Yes. Oh, no, it's okay. It's totally okay. Nope, it's not one roll. It's like 1.5 rolls, or maybe a little less. If you cut your mesh at 20 inches long, you'll get 18 cuts. If you cut it at what I normally do, which is 30 inches long, then you'll get, you can do 3 rolls at 30 inches and you'll get enough for 2 wreaths. So that's usually my go-to, but this mesh is beautiful and big. It's nice and thick. It's a higher quality mesh, so I didn't do 20 inches, but I did do 24. So there you go. It's coming along. Oh, thank you. Oh, fun. Michelle, are you planning it all out? I love that. That stuff is fun. That's what I was trying to think of for like, so I'm not sure exactly how the bunny's going to fit. If he's going to fit in the middle or if he should fit to the side. I don't know yet, but I pulled all kinds of fun embellishments in like teals and purples and whites, you know, because it is a bunny, so I don't want to just add florals. I want to add eggs or, you know, I have little flocked bunnies and I have tulips. And when I picked my ribbons, I was like, what do bunnies like? Like carrots. I got a purple ribbon with orange carrots, and the orange matches the orange in the mesh, and the purple goes well with teal. So I'm like, yes and yes. You know, it's like a little story, right? The bunny needs carrots. You know what I mean? And what was pretty exciting last night, I don't know if you guys remember or not, or if you were here, and I started posting the shorts today about it. I made 2 of those Jesus Holy Week wreaths, those big ones. They were like in the darker color schemes. The first one was black, and the second one was purple. The second one order that I had, she was so excited she posted it on her Facebook page, like her personal Facebook page. And one of her friends saw it and said that she wanted one. And she messaged me, and we got it all set to go. So I ordered 3 more of those signs. 1 for this new order that I have, and then 2 more to have on hand, just in case another order comes in or 2. So that's kind of fun. That's like a happy accident, you know? I knew that sign was beautiful, but it's always a good thing when you get like custom orders set up. You know, the order's already there and paid for before you even make the wreath, you know? So it's a good feeling. Easter's been popular this year for me, and I'm thankful for that. So yeah. So we're just keeping our thumb stationary and gathering it up. If you are new here, my camera angle, as you guys see, is more on my hands than on my face. When I made this channel, I did want to do more teaching, you know. Oh, if you need the skew for this mesh, it's a poly, it's called Poly Jute Metallic Mesh, and it is item RY802 2T7. It's a 10.5 inch by 10 yards, cream, orange, and teal. So here you go, if you need that. If you wanted to order that over at Craft Outlet. I put 12 on the bottom, Elvira. 12 on the bottom, 6 on the top. And then I always put the cut side facing down because it just helps minimize any frays that you see on the top. And then if you see any on the underside when you're done, you can just trim them up. But yeah, look how, this is so pretty. I like it already. I like it already. This mesh is one of my favorites of this season for sure. Tied with that pretty purple teal one that we used on those 2 pancake wreaths. One which sold already. Woohoo! Thankful for that. Yep, and then we just twist it. Just flip it over and place it down since we already have those ties. Then we tie the tie just one time because we're going to come back in with the mesh and then we will tie it off at that point. And that's why I always trim down my pipe cleaners before I add them onto the frame because I know that I won't need that full length. But here we go. We're already at the bottom. Good morning. Hey, Cindy. I just got that same mesh. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yes. I'm thankful. I had like 2 or 3 rolls of it. So I was very thankful I was able to get some things going. Okay, so that's already the bottom. So now we're going to hop up to the top. We got 6 pieces to put in. Yes, I love it. I love it because I love fabric mesh, and this is a fabric mesh. Plus it's a metallic, so it's the best of all the worlds. We got a little bit of loose fray at the end, but we'll be all right. Okay, so before I forget, I'm going to put this piece in, and it's going to be, I think, underneath the bow. So I'm going to tie the pipe cleaner off at that point when I put this in. Because this is our oopsie piece, I did the math, and I determined how long each piece should be, 360, which is how many inches are in a 10-yard roll, divided by however many ties I needed. Well, it was the roll was short, like one whole piece, and I counted them and I looked to make sure it didn't roll away somewhere. Nothing. So I don't know. It's normal for it to sometimes be like a little off, a little short, or a little long, but not by a whole piece. It's a little bit unusual. Okay, we're just making sure that all of our mesh is up and not flat. We're not overlapping at all. Good morning, Teresa. Elvira says, thank you. And how many yards did you use? This is about 1.5 rolls. So about 15 yards. Because they're each cut to 24 inches long and there's 18 of them. And I'm just rolling it like once and then just gathering it up the middle. When we do 30 inches, we roll it a few more times, but I want to make sure that it's still full. And if you roll too many times, then the middle part is very skinny and it doesn't cover as well. We want this wreath to be nice and big. Our last few were like the skinny pancake style, the storm door style, but this is not that. This is a different type altogether. So we're gonna be adding all the things in it. All the pretty embellishments, all the florals, all the Easter details, all the things. It's all about the details at Peak Blue Wreath. What did I say? Oh, good morning. Good morning, Irene. Cut side down, Lucy. Yep, just because it helps any little frays. Oh, hey, Lucy's in San Antonio. Hey, Lise. We are in Southeast Michigan. So we're a little far from you, but I did just ship a wreath to Texas a couple days ago, so we're still connected. But yes, I always do cut side facing down because it helps control any frays that you might see. I used to do it, oh, that pipe cleaner got a little loose. Let me just set this in here. I used to do them cut side up so that you could see more of the curls, but I just didn't like how you could see some frays sometimes with that, so I changed it. You can always kind of curl your end in. All right, this pipe cleaner got a little loose, and I want it to be right on the weld, and I want it to be nice and tight so it does not move. So let me nice and tight. Of course, Lucy. I gotta roll the sleeves up. It's getting serious. Not really, just get a little warm. It's kind of warmish here today. It's supposed to be 48, and but it's raining. So, but I was looking. My husband and I were looking at the weather, and it is supposed to be like in the 60s on Saturday and Sunday. We're like, what is going on? But then, you know, in a few days, it's supposed to get back down to like 39. So, a little fluke, a little hiccup in the winter weather. You lived in Ludington, Michigan, but now I am married and live in San Antonio. Nice. Ludington is beautiful. We are not that close to the water, unfortunately. We can get to the water by driving just a little while, but we do not live in Ludington, unfortunately, although it is beautiful. I feel like anytime I do spend time on the water, I'm like, why don't I do this more? You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not far, you know, like what, like a half hour or something, but life just gets busy, you know. All right, just one hard twist, and then just making sure everything is up against each other. Boop. What do you guys think so far? Last piece of mesh coming on. And then our ribbons we're going to be adding are really pretty purples and turquoise and teals to match our bunny. And then our embellishments, we're going to bring in those colors too. So I think it's going to look nice and cohesive and perfectly planned, just the way we like it. That's one thing, like I remember I would see some wreath makers and they would, you know, stay in a very specific color scheme, which is fun. But I feel like, you know, for instance, like our bunny is teal. You wouldn't want to make all your ribbons teal, your mesh teal, you know, all the embellishments teal. It's like, it's nice to think of like a secondary color. Like you could put yellow. I think yellow would look really pretty with turquoise. But yeah, this is our big bunny. So we're done with the mesh. Let me give you guys a little side view. Okay, nice and full. All right, so now let me start thinking. Should he go in the middle or should he go to the side? Because he could fit both places. I think I like him more on the side and then put a bow over here. What do you guys think? You guys think he should go the side or in the middle? Middle? But then we won't. We could put him, if we put him in the middle, then we put our bow underneath. If we put him on the side, we put our bow on the side. What do you guys, what's your vote? Tell me, side or middle? Tell me. Let me get some input on what you guys think. I'm sure we got some wreath makers in here. So let me tend to come up a couple of my phrase while you guys are telling me what our vote is. Side or middle? Where should our bunny and our bow go? Side or middle? Side or middle? What do we think? Beautiful mesh, thank you. Love the mesh, reminds me of carrots. Yes, that's what I'm going with. The bunny needs the carrots. Yes. Because we do have this ribbon that's got carrots on it too. All right, so do we want to put them on the side or we want to put them in the middle? What do we think? Bunny on the sides, Shelly. What else? Who else thinks? Side, like this, with the bow over here. Or do we want to put the bunny in the middle with the bow underneath, under his feet? Let's see, Bonnie's the side, Anne's the side, Sheila's the side, Sharon's the side. All right. I like the middle, says Colleen. All right, Colleen, I might have to make a second one and put it in the middle. Because, you know, part of me will be like, I wonder how it could have turned out. All right, let's add our ribbons in. Side, middle, on the side. I like the middle. All right. All right, keep giving your input. I like that. I know. I tend to do it where I have the bow on the side and the sign on the side. Never looks good. But I was just trying to think. All right, so this is what we're going to pair for this one. These are both cut to 13 inches long because, you know what, why not? Right? Jean says side, Carrie says side. All right, guys. I might have to just do that. All right, so this is what I was planning. You know, we have the turquoise and the mesh. We have turquoise in both of the 1.5 inch. We got turquoise in the bunny. And then we have purple, and then we have orange. The carrots match this. So that was my thinking on that. Some people wonder like what goes into the thought process on how you plan what ribbons to use or what ribbons to use in the bow. And I just kind of pull out from the different embellishments and the different details. Okay, so we have a 2.5 inch and we have a 1.5 inch. And they're both wired, of course. And they're cut to 13 inches long. There we go. So let's start putting them in. Oh, thank Colleen, you're so sweet. Colleen says, I'll make it perfect either way. God, I try. I try. I mean, this one has little bunny butts in a truck, a teal truck. I mean, part of it, you plan it out, and you've made a lot of, I've made a lot of wreaths. I can kind of think about like how much mesh to add to make it this full, and, if you want it smaller, you put, shorter cuts and stuff, and, maybe thinner mesh or whatever, but there's always an element of surprise, when it all comes together. I'm liking how it's looking so far, and I'm thankful I got you guys here to hang out with me and keep me company while I'm making this. I've really been having a good time getting to know all you guys and having some conversations and finding out where you're from. And some of us are from Michigan or used to be from Michigan. I like it. Been trying to go live more often. For a while I was just kind of, for a long time, until last year, I was not doing recording at all. And then I was like, okay, well, we can try. I would have people ask me, do you have a tutorial for this wreath? And I would always say no. And then I thought, well, I could try posting on YouTube. So we tried doing that. So I would record, not live, and I would just take all the videos and put them on YouTube, which was fun. But I was like, well, but then I realized that you can go live and then save the live onto your phone, and then you can edit it into a video for YouTube. So it's like you can get the best of both worlds, which I didn't realize you could do at first. I thought you could either like record or go live. I didn't realize you could save your lives. I just thought like Facebook deleted them after 30 days or whatever. I didn't know you could save them. So I learned something new. So I've been going live more. And I've been enjoying getting to know you guys. So, but yeah, that's that. Are any of you guys that are wreath makers done doing Easter wreaths? Like, are you already moved on? What season are you guys working on? Are you guys doing patriotic? Are you doing like general springtime, like strawberries and stuff? I was trying to think of, I have some really pretty, I have a sign and then I have ribbon that looks like galoshes. That's cute for spring. I think it has like umbrellas on it and galoshes. So when I'm done with spring, I'll be working on when I'm done with Easter, I'll be working on floral stuff and springtime stuff. I have a show on the 21st of March, 2 weeks from this Saturday. So, and that's the reason I've been making a lot of Easter stuff too, is I'm like, well, if it doesn't sell in my shop, I can just sell it at the show, hopefully in person people will see it and understand. That's one of my things. Even though I try really hard to take good pictures, people will say, your wreath is even bigger in real life, or it's even, better in real life. So, but that's one of the reasons I've been like posing with my wreaths lately when I post them, which is kind of awkward, to like hold a wreath. Like I feel like I'm like Vanna White. I'm like, okay, well, okay. Like, who's gonna want to see me holding a wreath? You kind of feel silly, but it kind of shows the size of it, right? It puts it to scale, and part of the reason people buy from Etsy is they want to be buying from a real person. You know what I mean? So, it kind of humanizes the situation. I don't know. Do you guys take pictures with your wreaths? Tell me about it. Tell me, do you feel a little awkward when you do it? It's not your favorite thing to do, but people seem to like it, so I don't know. Tell me. All right. Look how pretty that turquoise looks by the orange. You guys like that? Yeah, say hey when you hop on. We're working on a big flocked bunny wreath. We probably are gonna take his bow tie off and put a little bit better one that matches our ribbons, probably. That's what we're gonna do. And that is from Hobby Lobby. It's a 16-inch bunny. So it's the big one. So if we're gonna make a big wreath, you know, you might as well use the biggest bunny. Why not, right? You know, why use a medium-sized one when you can use a large one? You know what I mean? Hey, Colleen, let's see. I like making a variety of different themed wreaths for craft shows. Right now I have a couple coffee-themed ones. Let's see. I'm missing the rest of your comment. Okay. A couple Easter ones next. Nice. Teresa says, you do make pose with your wreaths? Do you feel a little awkward when you do it, or you you don't mind? I don't know. I just feel a little awkward when I do it, but gotta get over it. But yeah, just gathering it, then I kind of put them in together like this, and then I just put them in the tie that's already on there. Coffee ones, that's a good idea. I do have, I think, 2 coffee ones that I have not made. I've never made a coffee wreath actually, but I think it has something to do with those are good ideas for everyday wreaths, or sometimes people will hang them in their kitchen, right? So a lot of people like to hang their wreaths inside. Yes, Teresa, okay. I do it too. I don't dress. Some people go all out with their pictures, but I'm like, okay, if I can match my shirt sort of to the wreath, I mean, that works, right? I don't know. We're all doing our best around here, right? Pull it up. It's kind of fun. That one that I made with that big bunny butt earlier in the week, it sold to one of my mom's neighbors. And now my mom gets to see it every time she looks out her window because the woman hung it on her porch. It's so fun. And I get to see it. It's like visiting one of my babies when I go when I go to my mom's house. I get to see it on the customer's porch. It's kind of fun. It's not kind of fun. I like it. All right. Let me see. Somebody commented about a farmer's market. Let me see. We have a farmer's market by us too, but I don't think wreaths would sell well there. Let's see. Yes, Teresa knows. Do a local farmer's market, which goes every Saturday. It's outside, and the wintertime really drops vendors and crowds. Oh, really drops or draws? Wintertime really drops vendors and crowds, or draws vendors and crowds? Because around here, it would drop the vendors and crowds because our farmer's market turns into an ice skating rink in the wintertime. So not only would the vendors and crowds drop, as in falling, but they don't even hold it there. So yes, our farmer's market is in this large park that we have, and in the wintertime, they literally turn it into an ice rink. It's really nice, actually. They got food, they got a food truck there that has hot chocolate and stuff. Works out. Okay, so let me attach my bunny before I add my ribbons on the top. This is what we have so far. Yes, we have a farmer's market, but I don't think my wreaths would really sell well there. I feel like they're a little bit too expensive. I think people that come to a farmer's market are looking to buy, produce, not necessarily one of my big wreaths. But if I made, door hangers or something, that might work out. Okay. Let's see where that one piece of mesh is. It's over here. So we're gonna put it this way, and then we're gonna put our bunny in. Let's take the tag off the back. Oh, drops. There you go, Ann. Drops. Do they turn it into an ice rink? Would they drop that much? So, Ann, do you sell at the farmer's market? Okay, again, this is a 16-inch bunny from Hobby Lobby. Here, I guess we'll take care of his bow tie while we're here. And I know it's kind of rude, but I made a hole right here and right here with a pair of scissors. Then, because it's just foam. And then I put some super glue in there. Then I folded pipe cleaner in half, stuck it in there, and did Gorilla Glue hot glue around the edge. All right, let's decide what we want to do with his bow tie. All right, is it going to come off this easily? Or is it glued in place? Let's see. Oh yeah, it's going to come off very easily. There we go. All right. I'm trying to be careful with him because flocking is a little delicate. All right, so let's see. What do I have in purple or turquoise? That's kind of skinny. Let's see. I got one. I have one here. We have this one. This light lavender. I think that would be good. It matches this one. So let's do that. I had not planned on making a bow tie for him, so I apologize I don't have this done already. Let's see. How are we gonna do this? See, guys, we're doing lots of new things today together. Let me see. All right, let's see. I wonder if we can just make a bow and just glue it on there, or if we have to wrap it around. Here, let's try to, here. Okay, let's wrap it around first. Okay, let's make it this wide. And then we'll hot glue a bow on. Summer and fall draws great crowds. They'll buy wreaths, centerpieces, customs, but they're not into expensive items. Oh, good to know, Ann. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel our farmer's market has vendors, but it's mostly like either baked goods or they'll have like jewelry maybe, or like sometimes kids will come there, like teenagers that have things that they made, but I feel like it's probably like $30 is probably the tops. I don't feel like, but yeah, I could see centerpieces. I could see that. I need to work on my centerpieces a little bit more. All right, so we're just making a little wraparound for him, and then we're gonna trim it, and then we're gonna make a little bow, and we're gonna hot glue it to the middle, I think. Let's see. Guys, let me know if you've made these flocked bunnies before. If you got some tips for me. My hubby and I also have a woodworking business along with my wreath. Oh, okay. You know what, Colleen? I've seen people lately have been doing is their husbands that are like handy with woodwork and stuff. They've been making like easels and stuff for wreath making. I feel like that's been a big thing lately. All right, so I just put a little bead of hot glue on the back there so that his little tie isn't gonna come off. All right, so now let's make a little bow now. Just gonna make a little, just like a little tulip bow probably. Just a little one. That's what I say. Famous last words. Just a little one is what I say. Nothing really about my wreath making is little. There, I like that. There we go. That looks good. And then you know what we can probably put in the middle is like a little tulip or a little egg or something. I'm not doing any tails or anything like that. We have everything usually. Oh wow. Nice. Yeah, ours is like Ours is in underneath like a little pavilion, and they have like kettle corn. They have people that make like pierogies. And then they have like 5 or 6, probably more than that, maybe like 10 food trucks. And then they have live music in the evening time and the stage. So it really is a thing. It's just to do. But maybe when my kids are a little older, I'll try it, because it is time consuming. I feel like that's the thing about craft shows, is like they're fun, but they're very time consuming. You got to make sure that you do your research, you know, make sure it's worth your time. All right. Sorry guys, I should have had this done ahead of time. All right, so I tried to make my bows pretty even. Let me see, this one's a little long. Oh, you did? Teresa, tell me about it. Tell me about what you did with yours, please. Tell me what you did. Ooh, this is cute. Look how cute that guy is. That's way better than the one we had on there. Yes, yes, yes. That's way better. Let me just glue this on here real quick. Not get any glue on blocking. Please and thank you. We do have another one of these guys if we need to make. This one is really popular and I want to make another one. We do have a second one. You stake it. And then we're gonna, I think, put a little baby turquoise egg right in the middle. Sorry guys, this is why sometimes lives take a long time. And that's why it's called a live, right? You can plan. These are the flowers we're using around the outside. Aren't those beautiful? Hold on one second. And this is why it's a good idea to hold on to like little bits and pieces. I don't hold on to everything because, you know, it can get overwhelming. But like this little tiny robin's egg. That's cute. Black bunny on a pedestal arrangement list. You said, no, it's a 14-inch, Elvira, 14. But it was like a raised 14-inch frame. So elevated was probably a better way to say it than raised. All right, so let's let that dry for a second. That's cute, I like that. I've never made a centerpiece with them. I planned on doing it last year. I did not get around to it. But I have more, and I have ones that are smaller, so maybe. All right, so let's get this guy in here. All right, let's see. Aww, I like that. I don't want his ears sticking up too high, because then he'll be like off the wreath. There you go, that's cute. Good ideas, guys. I like that. Do you make a lot of arrangements? I need more practice on arrangements. I made some for Christmas. I've made like pumpkin ones before. Where it's like you take the styrofoam pumpkin and you take off the lid, cut off the stem and then do that type of thing. When I used to sell in a boutique, I used to do those, and those were popular. I would make like Thanksgiving ones and I would make Halloween ones. But then I was just kind of unsure about shipping them, so I didn't really make them for Etsy. So I didn't make them this year. Just trying to poke through the mesh and not poke my finger. My one friend, Dawn, over at Wreath Decor by Dawn, she sells these like embroidery needles that help with getting the pipe cleaner through the mesh. So if you feel that you need that, head on over to her. All right, okay, we're attaching it right to the frame. I'm not gluing my bunny in. I know a lot of wreath makers do that, but I just would feel terrible if it fell off of my customer's wreath. So I don't normally glue in my attachments unless they're really light. And this is sort of, it's foam, but still. Nice and fluffy, that's how we like it, Joy. Joy, we do like it. We do like them nice and fluffy. Like our Christmas tree is nice and fluffy. I just like the big wreaths because you have a lot more ability to add, you know, all the colors and all the textures and all the things. And I'm attaching it. I'm trying to attach it to a spot where there's the weld mark in there, so that I know it's not going to move. If you attach it like in the middle, then it could slip, you know, over time, or I don't know. But yeah, that's how I like to do it. Let's see. I like doing arrangements for a change in variety of the shows. It's smart, yeah. Colleen, yeah, like I did the Christmas ones, like in Christmas mugs. You know, like those, I went and bought some like really cute mugs that kind of looked like, you know, like a little kitschy, you know, like there was like Santa head or Mrs. Claus head or whatever. And people seem to like those a lot. All right, there's our bunny. Our bunny is in. He is in. I used an oval-shaped wreath and wrapped the outer ring with sage chunky yarn. Then I used pink ribbon, cut and wrapped, wrapped around the edge of the wreath. I put, oh, that sounds pretty. I know, they make so many beautiful colors of these bunnies too. I have this one. I have two of this one. Then I have some that are like this size that are like, they almost look like they have tinsel on them. All right, here we go. So what we have so far. He is in the wreath. Bunny is in the wreath. So let me add our ribbon tails around, and then we're gonna make our bow. Oh, thank you. What do you guys think so far? Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up. If you guys catch the replay, let me know. Type replay before you ask your question or comment, so that way I know if I already addressed it live or not. This is fun, I like this one. You guys like the purple and the turquoise together? I was looking through my florals and I'm like, oh, I've been using a lot of purple and turquoise this year for Easter. Because I'm like, oh, I'm running a little low on purple and turquoise, so I must be using those a lot. And it's true, because the Jesus one, I used a lot of, I used purple on both. So that's that. But I'm excited to get those signs in. They're coming, I think, today or tomorrow already. That shop is so fast. Kind of inspired me to like step up my customer service game, because it's so sweet. She sends the signs and they're like gift wrapped in tissue paper, and there's even like a yarn bow wrapped around it. I'm like, oh girl, okay. And it says it's from Kentucky. I just think that's cute. I like that. It's cute. You know, we buy from. Let's try to stick this under here. You know, we buy from wreath makers, and you know, she is a wreath maker too, but she also makes signs. So it's called Rough River Wreath. Now I'm gonna be making that Jesus wreath on here probably within the next few days. All right, let's get this situated here. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I like them too. But I think purple or turquoise and yellow would go together. Turquoise and any colors really. Pink. Pretty much any color goes well with that. But I do like purple and turquoise together. Obviously. Yeah, to be careful with the flocking, because sometimes if you like, when you store them, you have to make sure that they're not rubbing against anything, because they, you know, the flocking can come off, and then you have like a bald spot. You know, nope, nobody wants that. Oh, thank you. Yes, Irene, full, fluffy, and beautiful. That's what we like. When it comes to wreaths, we like that. And I always joke and I say that, because a lot of people think my wreaths are very big and fluffy, which they are, but some people's wreaths are way bigger than mine. You know, there's some people out there, their wreaths are huge. Like, they hold them up against themselves and it's like 2/3 of their body, you know? So, they could be bigger. I'm gonna put this one right behind his head. All right, let's grab that. It can get a little bit tricky. But I like to add my ribbon tails after I add my signs, because sometimes if you put your sign on top of the ribbon tails, then it kind of looks like, you know, some of the ribbon can get a little bit frayed, and nobody wants that. All right, that's what we got so far. Look how pretty that is. You guys hear that? Sorry. My hips, sometimes my hips and my knees pop. It's been like that since I've been like in my 20s, so I don't know. You guys like that too? It doesn't hurt, thankfully. All right, let's make our bow. And then we can decide what we want to do with our embellishments. I pulled a lot of, if you guys have been here a minute, you know, I'm really into the 60919 florals. Like, I finally jumped on that train. It's been a minute. A lot of wreath makers use that. It's like a floral bush, you know, and it took me a minute to jump on that train. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that pretty? I was using it for Christmas because it had like a white fluffy edge. Look how pretty that is. This is like glittery and like netting. This is a fancy one. I think it's like Farasilk. It's a little bit of a fancy pants. Not a little bit, a lot of it. All right, so we're gonna use this one, and we're going to be using this at some point, because this also has the edge that we like. Thanks, Anne, appreciate you. And okay, so now I know I wanna end with this one, and I wanna start with this one. So where are we going in between? I see those huge wreaths and wonder, what do? They sell them. It seems like it seems like they sell really well for them. So, you know, it just, I mean, I never, for instance, that 60919, which is like this here. Sorry, if you didn't come for story time, you can fast forward this on the replay. Some of the comments. So it looks like this, right? It comes with 3 of them, and it's huge, and you can like spread it out and see it comes with like all the different things. It comes with like a fern, and it comes with these little ones, and it comes with these, and it comes with all the things already together. You know, and you can literally just throw it in a ribbon part, and it's gorgeous, right? You don't have to think about what greenery to put with what flowers. You know what I mean? So it took me a while to jump on that train, because you get like 3 of them in a branch, and it is like $6. You know, so it's expensive, but they're gorgeous. So, I mean, it took me a little bit to jump on that train, because I thought they're too expensive. But you know what? I love them. So it works. It works. I'm going to use this. Look how pretty that is. This is a jelly ribbon, and it's also wired. Yep. Okay, so we'll be using that one. And let's see what else I have that is purple or turquoise. I think this would look good. This is a white sparkly one that I got. So we'll put that one here. And let me see, orange, turquoise, white, or purple. Orange, turquoise, white, or purple. Let's see. I got all my specials here. This is a nice one. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. There you go. It's been decided. It's been decided. And probably when I'm done, I'm probably going to look around and say, oh, I could have used that one. No, I have all my turquoise. I have all my Easter ribbons around me. So I can look and see and not have to go searching. I purposely brought them all over here. All right, so I think we're good. I think this is what we're going to do. Even though it is a little bit like sparkle and sparkle. What if we put this here? 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. There we go. This is what we're going to do for our bow. Because you know what? Why not add another ribbon in? You know what I mean? All right, so we're probably going to be using nice long tails. And I love this. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, let's do it. Let's get going. This is a 4-inch ribbon. It is big. I like how it's iridescent because it reminds me of Easter grass. It's all about the details, and I love just kind of like making a story, right? Like the Easter bunny, he needs carrots, right? And so we gotta include carrots. You know what I mean? So it's all a story time situation. All right, we're gonna do 14-inch tails. And then just gonna keep adding. We're almost done with our wreath, actually. Most of the time was prep work, which I did off camera. But yeah, let me know what you guys got going on. What you guys think about this? All right, this is a almost 7-inch loop. With 4-inch wide ribbon, it kind of looks bigger just because it's so wide. I was just thinking about that. I had planned to do 2 loops on this, but I think I'm just going to do 1. Because I think it might just start encroaching over on our bunny at that point. All right, we're going to try to make our bows, our tails similar, even though I tend to make this one longer every time. I'm not sure why. I love all those ribbons. I have a ribbon obsession. Yes. Colleen, I understand. Colleen, when I first started making wreaths, my goal was to have enough supplies where if I get somebody that wants me to make them a wreath, I don't have to go order online and tell them it's going to take a week for it to come in and then the wreath will be ready. I just wanted to have enough ribbons and supplies where I didn't have to do that. And I can safely say I've reached that, but I still want to buy more. It's so bad. Bow dabber too, but I want to get an easy bow. I understand that, Teresa. I use the bow dabber. I've always used the bow dabber because when I first started doing this, I was doing it in my office and we didn't have a lot of room, you know? We didn't have a lot of room. So I picked the bow dabber because whenever I made wreaths, I used this underneath it, just like I do now. And this was the same table I used when I first started. And I used the bow dabber because I literally would keep all of my wreath making supplies in one tub. Now just buy what I needed for each project because I didn't have an accumulation or you know, I feel like when you make wreaths, you know, you buy supplies. Sometimes you never get to the project, or sometimes you buy too much on accident and you have leftovers, and then it just kind of accumulates, right? And as long as you go through it every once in a while, it's okay. All right. Oh, that's what I tell myself. All right, so I love this jelly ribbon. It is a little challenging to use because it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really fold well, super well, but just kind of make it do what you need it to do. Okay, and I like to spread out my loops so that there's like 1 in the middle and then 2 on each side. even though I make them a little bit shorter each time, it helps to be able to see them that way. And I like to build it in the bow dabber because then when I get it out of the bow maker, there's less work to do. So this is so pretty. It reminds me of jelly sandals when I was a kid. I never actually had jelly sandals, but I had a friend that had some. And she would only wear them with socks, right? Because that's the way you do it. But I bet that'll come back around soon. I feel like all these trends are coming back around. I always remember my mom saying that all trends will come back around again. And I'm like, yeah. I feel like most trends have come and gone at least twice since I originally saw them now at this point in my life. You know? If you know, you know, right? Okay. So this one is a little, gotta keep the pin all the way on the edge. Okay. So this was item RG0183820. I try to tell you guys that the items when I remember. So sorry about that. But that's for that. I don't have the item number for this turquoise one, but I believe it's either Ferrosilk or one of those fancy brands. Okay. So we're gonna do one of this one. Trim it. Your tail's a little smaller each time. Let's turn. Pinch, turn. We're gonna make one loop on this one. And each time my loops are about a ½ inch smaller, and my tails are about a ½ inch smaller on each layer. Yes, we are making a teal flocked Easter bunny wreath. I was remembering when I pulled that Easter bunny out that I also have a flocked snail that I bought last year. It's pink and yellow, and I think that would be cute for a spring wreath. A snail. What's not to love about little snails? Unless they take over your garden, of course, but yeah, snails are like springtime, right? All right, so here we go. Stick my pin in there while I got it on my mind. Yeah, let me know what you guys got going on. Has anyone been watching Survivor? Have you guys been watching any Survivor fans besides me? Any Survivor fans? No. What shows do you guys like? We can talk shows. This one has the same iridescent, so that's why I like to use this, because it's like, this one is almost the same exact shade as this, but a little bit different. But this is like this, right in the middle. So it kind of brings it all back together. And then we're going to be using a white sparkly one next, which the top ribbon that has orange in it has white in it too. So it all matches in some way. And if you only want to use one ribbon, you can use one ribbon. Some people only use one pattern of ribbon in their bows. That's fine too. It's a nice big bow. Mystery movies. Okay. What kind of mystery movies? Like, I know this sounds kind of silly, but I know they have mystery movies like on the Hallmark Mystery Channel. I've been into those. They're gonna have a new one on this Saturday. I think it's called like Hannah Swinson Bakery or something like that. It has that one girl, Allison Sweeney, in it. I like that. I'm a fan of that. I can't do too scary though. It just makes me nervous. You know, before you know it, you're like afraid to take a shower. You know? I'm not very brave, I guess, when it comes to that. All right, guys, we are just moving along with this. We got 2 more ribbons to put in our big bow. And then we'll be done with that. We can add in all our stuff. Is anyone making a wreath with me? Along with me? Some people like to watch. Sometimes I do that too. I watch wreath makers while I'm making a wreath. Kind of helps motivate you or inspire you maybe. Or just keep you company. Oh, yep. Yep. Murder, She Wrote. Those are good. I feel like the scariest I get with mysteries is literally the Hallmark Mystery Channel. I just can't. I don't know. I get too like into it, then I get too jumpy. You know? I used to be really into like not really scary stuff when I was younger, but I would watch like Unsolved Mysteries a lot, and I just feel like it made me like scared a lot. I was like nervous, and I didn't like that. I know like a lot of people are really into like suspense books. Like my sister likes those different types of books like that. All right, we got 1 more ribbon, and then we'll be done with our bow, and then we can add in all of our goodies, and then we'll be done. So it does take a little bit of time to make these bigger wreaths, but it's worth it to me. Okay, so this is a 1.5 inch wide ribbon. It is got that cute little fluffy edge, the same texture that we started with is what we're ending with. And that is not a coincidence. It's an on purpose type of thing. We're like busting out of our bow dabber because our bow is so big. So just carefully twist and add. And then we're gonna do the last one to kind of hide our pipe cleaner. And then pull that tail down. What do you call that bow maker? Oh yeah, never apologize. The main reason I'm doing this is so that I can help anybody that needs help with any of this stuff. This is called a bow dabra. Bow dabra. All one word. And it is from Amazon, but you can also, I've seen them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's too. I feel like it's the least expensive of the bow makers. It's the simplest of the bow makers because it doesn't have measurements on it or anything like that. It literally holds the ribbon for you so you can build your bow. And that's all I need it for, so it works out. I don't like building bows by hand because I feel like it's just challenging to have to like pull the ribbon out and twist it and then hold it. It's just a lot of work goes into making bows, and I don't want to ruin it because I'm holding it with one hand. Okay, so you pull it out, you move your thumb just a little bit, then you grab it all in the back. This one is very thick. Look how thick that is. Pull it so thick, try to keep everything going up and down. You don't want anything sliding out. I always imagine it like a sandwich. You know, you're holding a sandwich really tight. You don't want, when you take a bite, you don't want anything falling out and all the, the tomato sliding out sideways. You want all the flavors there. Just like you want all your ribbons. All right, so then I hold my thumb here and I start pulling all of my tails where they belong, in the order that I placed them in there. As long as you keep your thumb there, it's fine. If you don't keep your thumb there and you just start pulling your loops, then you might pull it right out of your wreath. Ask me how I know that. Because it's happened and it's annoying to have to rebuild your bow again. All right, we got 1, we got 2, we got 1, we got 2, we got 1, we got 2. Okay. Now we got them that middle one, which we're just gonna open up with our hands. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Just making sure that all of our loops are going where they should be, and that none of our loops are being hidden by our tails. We always use wired ribbons so everything can be opened up and straightened out and all the things. And there we go. Obviously our tails need to be a little straightened out there, but these orange ones up to where they belong. There we go. There we go. What do you guys think? All right, so let's bring over our wreath. And here's our bow. We're gonna add it right over here. We're actually gonna take this ribbon out here and place it up one. Because when I put my bunny in, I didn't put it in where I had land with our ribbons. So let me just move this over a little bit. Tuck that under. And open up this pipe cleaner and stick this up here. No worries. Oh, Colleen. Go on. No, I'm just kidding. You're so sweet. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. It's just practice. Just like anything else. It's just practice. We've done it. I've done it at least 600, and I think I was looking at my Etsy today. I think I've sold 630 wreaths. I think that's what it was, 628 or 600. Oh no, it fell off. We'll have to glue that back in. About 620 something, which is, I know, small fries to some people, but that's a big deal to me. So I've made at least 650 wreaths, both. So there you go. Just a little practice. You know, practice makes progress, is what I always say. And I'm going to attach my bow to my frame. I'm going to stand up to get a little bird's eye view. What's going on here? See what needs to be. We don't want our bow covering up our bunny. What do you guys think? I've learned so much from your lives. Oh, Colleen, I'm happy to hear that. All right, that's what we got so far. Woo. All right, let me add this egg back in. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you, Colleen. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear I can help. I forgot to put my ring on. I apologize for that. All right. I hold this for a second and then probably be able to put another egg down here. Maybe another one here. Pulled all my turquoise and purple stuff. I could probably put an egg. Then he'd look like he's sitting on an egg. I don't know. All right, I think we're good. Thank you, Anne. Sorry, guys. I know this is like a marathon situation, but it'll be worth it. I promise. All right. So our eggs we have. These are from Hobby Lobby, I believe. We have turquoise. We have purple. It comes in like a bag like this. We got all the different colors in there. So I don't think I want to add turquoise. I think I want to add purple. Because I feel like we already have a lot of turquoise things. And they come on little hangers. I think they're meant for a tree. Just pull the hangers off. And then you want to turn the eggs so that they, because sometimes when you get them, they'll have like, because they're foam, you know, so they'll have like a good side, a best side, I should say. Let me think. I don't like how dark that is. So maybe we will add turquoise ones. I don't like how dark that is. It would look good on a pastel design, but not this one. This one, the purples are not dark, they're brighter. Okay, so yeah, that looks better. I'll put them that way. All right, let me go dip these real quick. My hot glue, and then we can start. We'll probably start on the outside, and then we will jump up to the top when we're done, so I can decide what I want to do. I got the turquoise tulips. I have probably purple tulips somewhere in here. Place this right here and make sure that we don't get that on our bunny. What do you guys think so far? You guys like it? All right, so let's start on the outside. Let me grab, here's my bin of all my 60919. There are 4 of them in here, I think. Yeah, 3 times 4 is 12. Yep. So they all look like this, varying degrees of this. Some have flowers, some have berries, all the things. Some, you know, they're all so pretty. Okay. So let's grab our glue pot. We are almost done, guys. I know it feels a little marathonish, but it's so pretty. It's going to be worth it. Then I'll have to decide how much money of product is in here. Because I'm kind of, I don't know, I kind of round. I know that's not the best way to do it. All right, and the glue pot is smoking, so you are not imagining things. Okay, so you want to put it in here on top of the ribbons and kind of smush it into the mesh because you want it to be able to stick to something. Okay, that's one thing that the mesh is really good for is, you know, it's good. The plastic and the glue can grip. And this is Gorilla Glue Hot Glue. I had somebody last time ask why it looks like a little bit of an amber color. I think it just burns over time. You know, because you don't take the glue out, you just add more in. And I think just over time it just kind of gets a little toasty. Aw, Gail, never. You're never late. You can always catch the replay. But I'm happy you're here. We're just adding in all of our florals now to our purple and teal flocked bunny wreath. Big wreath. Jumbo wreath. Jumbo wreath, I would say. Okay, make sure you don't burn yourself. Please be careful. All right, so I'm spreading this out. I don't really want this showing, so I'm kind of flipping it and spreading it out because that's like the back, you know? So I guess there is actually a back. But what's nice about these is that they're wired and you can just, you know, spread them out. But you kind of want to make sure, like I trim them like pretty close to where, because it's on a big stick, a big stem. I trim them pretty close because otherwise it ends up being so big. And, which is good, but it gets hard to fit in a box. So you want to make sure that you kind of contain the size a little bit. And you want to make them, trim them like a similar size. It's like a similar spot every time. what I'm trying to say. Biggest challenge is the wreath pricing. I know. Colleen, every time I do, you know, my husband's like, okay, well, he does our taxes and he'll ask me to, you know, print off my Etsy stuff and, you know, how much I sold, and then to go through my bank statements and add in how much I bought. And I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's lazy, but I don't figure, I round my prices. I round it up, and, or I round it down. I round it down, actually. You know, people are always like, your wreaths are, people think that my wreaths are very expensive. And they are, but anyways, we're not going to go into that right now. But, at the end of the day, comparatively speaking to other wreath makers, I probably don't charge enough for my wreaths. But I don't know. I feel like I like to use very high quality wreath materials, because if somebody's buying a wreath from me, I want to give them the very best that I can possibly give to them. And I don't want to use materials that I feel like are not quality. So I use more expensive stuff, and you can tell. But at the same time, I don't think I charge enough, unfortunately. So, I don't know. We talked about that last time, about how, like, when you charge what a wreath is worth, and then you feel bad about it. It's like, why do we feel bad? Like, why? I don't know. I don't know why I feel bad about it, or why I feel like I have to, like, explain myself. You know, like somebody will ask the price of something and you'll be like, it's this amount, but here's why it's that amount. And you feel like you got to explain it. And you're like, why? Why do we feel that way? I don't know. I need to get over that. All right, we got this one comes with, the 60919 comes with these little vines, and you just kind of turn them around, little tendrils, just kind of loop them. But this is 60919's -TQ for turquoise. That's what this is. And there's 4 of them in here. We're putting 1 in each spot on the outside. You put so much into yours, quality and time. My husband always tells me I don't charge up. I don't know. I don't know what it is about. I know. But I feel like sometimes if I charge more, I feel like I'm just gonna store it. Like I know that's probably not even true. You know, because I've listened to like wreath coaches and stuff, and they'll say, you know, if you charge what it's worth, then people will buy it because they will know that if they spend that much, it's a really high quality item. Like kind of saying like, if you don't charge enough, people might not think it's good, you know? We all got things to work on, right? All right, we're almost done. Look how pretty that is. I love that. But we all got room to grow, right? Make sure that you're not dropping any glue on your ribbons, because it's very hard to get glue off of ribbon. And we're just gonna roll that a little bit. If you don't like it, you can just take that part off, but I think it just adds a little bit more texture. And just kind of spread it out. See, so cute. And then I think we're going to be adding some blue tulips around the top, and then we'll be done. So we are almost done. Okay, careful, careful, careful. Gotta move fast. Sorry if you guys are seeing the back of my head. I know, I always joke and say at this part of the replay, you'll be able to see that I need to get my highlights done. But 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's coming. 2 weeks from Tuesday. I got my appointment. I have my hair done for my show on the 21st. If you're local to Sterling Heights, Michigan or Southeastern Michigan, come see me, Dakota High School. I'll be in the auxiliary gym again. And it's like the same spot as last year. I have an end cap, which is kind of nice. So I'll be able to hang things on more space. I'll have to let you guys know if I hear, so this is something kind of funny. Is, don't you be trying to get in that glue pot. So last year was my first year doing the spring show, and I had an end cap spot. I have these 3 little greeneries that I have left over from another project, so I'm just going to use these real quick. So I had an end cap, and what's nice about that is you can hang more things, right? You can display more stuff. And so how it works is like, so imagine like if it's like a rectangle, right? The aisle. So I have like a L. So like people can come up this way and I'm like here, right? So I can put my stuff here, the outside here, this way, and on the inside here, and then my end caps. So I could hear people coming this way, and I would hear them talking about how expensive my wreaths were. And then they would round the corner, I'd be like, hey! So awkward. Guys, I don't want that happening again. I don't want that. I don't want them talking bad about my wreaths like that. You know? Guys, rude. Anyways, it's okay. It's okay. Alright, so we're putting this here. We should probably put another turquoise egg right there underneath his feet. I think that's what I'm going to do. Instead of place. So I'm always like cognizant about, and this one I'm going to put under the ribbon because we have that egg there. I'm always cognizant about placing things like at the bottom of things. Like when I did my Grinch, you know, I always make sure that I'm not putting, you know, an ornament right underneath his tushy, you know, because it just is a little bit of awkward placement. I made a snowman one time, I remember, and my customer was like, some of the ornaments are placed a little bit suspiciously. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't think about that, you know. So all it takes is one time. And then you're like, oh, okay, now. Every other time now for the rest of my life, I will be careful about where I put my stuff. All right, we're going to put another one under here. We're going to put right to the side, under his feet. I think that's a good choice. Let's see. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll make a choice. Maybe I'll just put the purple. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right, let me do this. And then it'll force us to make our choice here. It'll look like he's standing on an egg. I think that's just fine. I think that's just a fine idea. All right. And then let's put this purple over here. And then we're going to put a couple tulips around, and then we'll be done. I'm going to put this underneath this ribbon. Yes, I know, that's true, it's true, materials are expensive, I know. All right, so I have these blue tulips, they're from Michael's. I don't know if they have this color combination this year. I feel like they change it up, but I want to use one of these bundles because tulips are synonymous with spring and Easter time for me, so we're going to be using these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it an overkill for it to add the tulips? I don't know. Do we need them? Probably not, but I pulled them and I think it's going to look good, so we'll do it. This is just one bundle of the mini tulips from Michael's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are called pushers because you can literally push them up. 6, 7. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna put, let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's just kind of sprinkle them around. See what happens. Can never have too many florals. Never have too many florals, you know? What do you guys think? Do you guys think tulips are like the #1 flower that you associate with springtime, or what flowers do you guys associate with springtime? I was looking at what florals to include with this, and I had some really pretty orange daisies, but I was like, I don't know if this design is too early for daisies. Wasn't sure. I was second guessing myself on that. Let me see. Put one back here. Oh yeah, I like that. I like the tulips. I think that's pretty. Do I want to stick some around him? Probably. But we are almost done, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. We just got these last couple tulips to place, and then we'll be done. Oh, thank you, Holly. Look at you. 100 stars. I appreciate you. That's so sweet. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the stars, it's just an extra way for people to support people during their lives. Oh, right in between his ears. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, this is our last little batch of tulips. And if I missed you guys' comments, I'm sorry. I'll come back through and check it out when we're done here. All right. I think we're done, guys. And that's all she wrote. I think that's it, guys. That's it. How long have we been on? Like an hour and a half? I see, that's it. Like we were just on a moment. But I have lots more Easter ideas, so I'm sure we'll be on again probably tomorrow around this time. I've had people ask sometimes how I add glue to my glue pot. Surebonder does sell glue pellets, but what I do is I just take Gorilla Glue hot glue, and I will take my wire cutters and I'll just cut the sticks up into smaller pieces. That's what I do instead. I don't know. I'm sure Surebonder is just fine. Or if I did use the Surebonder pellets, I would probably mix them with Gorilla Glue. You know, like every other time, put it in. I don't know. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about our bunny? Here, let me hold him up so we can see him a little better. Let me show ya. These are my favorite wire cutters. They were lost, but now they've been found. Look at it. I can't even get it all on the screen. Look at that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Guys, I like it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. This will be available in my Etsy shop if you'd rather just buy the finished one. Today. Right after this, I'll take some pictures on my porch. I know they won't be as good as like natural daylight ones, but it should suffice. And there's our little boy. So cute. Oh, thanks, Gail. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for sharing. Yes. And oh, Colleen, look at you with your wow. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so supportive of me. I really appreciate that. It's been really fun to go live with you guys and get to know you guys better. If you guys are wreath makers and have business pages, feel free to post them here. I'll come check them out. Or you can message me with your page and I can come look. But I'm sure you guys are all really talented too. And it's fun to see what you guys make. I've had some sweet ladies reach out and say, I made this after you made yours. It kind of gave me an idea to do it. And that's kind too. So. Oh, Jean, thank you. Jean says, outstanding. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. I'll have to take a picture of this outside tomorrow when it is not raining. So I'll hold it just like I talked about. I'll hold it so you guys can see how big it is. I know one of them I posted and somebody was like, it's bigger than you. That was funny. But yeah, we're all done. I'm gonna go drink some coffee, have my third coffee of the day probably, and we might be back. I don't know. I have a lot more ideas in my mind of what I need to do. And we're running out of days. I saw somebody post that it's 1 month from Easter is today. And I'm like, oh gosh. You know, because that window of time for customers to, to buy online kind of closes. But here we go. Thanks guys so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. I hope you guys have a really good day. Happy Thursday. I'll see you next time. That's right, Colleen. Thank you, Irene.